Happy Saturday, everybody. It's Elisa at Elisa Maria Designs. How are you this morning? I'm catching up. I'm catching up to a lot of things. Like today is the kickoff for Jingle Drills. I had no idea. And you don't need a new start. And I thought, well, heck, why not get my Quiet Snow in there? I wanted to give you guys a little look at what and where I am, because I have been learning to diamond paint for me for a little bit. Isn't he cute? I love her hand. It is like the favorite part of this painting, and his little face. So that's what I'm working on right now. Just checking in with you guys. Want to know what you're up to on this weekend, this Saturday. I might just take all the voice out when I'm done with this. You might see this again. It's another thing that I'm learning how to do, is like recycle my canvases and the work that I do. Not thinking that, well, every time I want to do a self-care Sunday, it has to be a new video. And every time I want to do a reading, it has to be a new video. Not everybody does the reading. Not everybody does self-care Sunday. So not everybody sees this. And if you have, I guess you can just look at it as a podcast, right? I had to take my washi tape off, but I'm moving into this section here. It's moving kind of fast. Don't ever say things out loud, because the gods, I dropped one drill. So, yeah, it happens to all of us. Yeah, one drill. That's it. That's all I dropped. So, I was going to say, don't say things out loud, because the gods are always listening, but it's amazing what you can get done when you're just diamond painting for yourself and not worrying about, I got to get this done, I got to get that done. Let me hurry up and do this. I don't want to hurry up through my canvases. You know, I have 40 of them. So I'm not going anywhere. I just did a few shorts for Rebecca. It's something else I don't do enough of. I'm recycling these because the carousel it needs some TLC, and so I figured, why not? Let me just take these out while I have them and use them and see what it's like to actually diamond paint out of here. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so I did a few short. I don't need this color, at least I do. I did a few shorts, which is something I don't do. I don't do shorts, and I love them. I think I watch more shorts on YouTube than anything, and I don't do them. So I was like, oh, let me do a few. So thank you to everyone that is enjoying the reading. I guess it must just be me. I don't like the sound of my own voice. Who does? Who likes the sound of their voice? I don't. And when you guys are like, oh, I love the way that you read, I'm like, oh, they must be putting me on. So, I mean, I'm enjoying the book. I'm enjoying the book so much. You all are like in suspense. You're like, I don't know where this is going. Where's this going? What's going to happen? I don't know. I seen the movie years ago. I don't know if I saw it more than once. I think if I had saw it more than once, I think I would remember more of it. But I mean, I know that Alfred Hitchcock did the movie. I have been looking into Du Maurier myself, into her life, which is so interesting. Her father always wanted a boy, and so she adopted. You know how kids sometimes adopt, what do they call it? Imaginary friends? Well, she adopted a whole personality where she was a boy and like had wished she was a boy. She was her father's favorite. You know, she kept her hair short. But people had always said, neighbors and all, that they were always together, the father and the daughter, and that, you know, he was always like fawning over her to the point that it was disturbing. And so I guess you know where I'm going with this. I'm really not sure, like, you know, what to say and what not to say. But yeah, that happened. And I can't even get the words out of my mouth, but um, and and you know, for them it was very it was a natural thing, father and daughter. You know, I know. So that was one of the disturbing things that I found out about the Du Maurier household, and how, you know, her father was like a cheat. You know, he was a cheat, and he cheated on her mother all the time. And when she had found out about the affairs that he had, she had become jealous. Um, it's crazy, it really is. But the family has a the family had cigarettes named after them, Du Maurier cigarettes. The father and the grandfather, I can't forget what their professions were, but they were very well known, um, famous in their own right. So, with the last chapter that I had read, which had to do with, you know, her, you know, they're finally at Manderley and they're back from their honeymoon, and I'm not giving anything away, but I think for any woman, like I was talking to Marjorie, one of my members, and she was like, "Oh my God," she's like so like immature, and she's so uh, you know, has absolutely no self-worth, and you know, she doesn't even know that like she's the new Mrs. De Winter. Like the first Mrs. De Winter is gone, and she's living in this shadow of her, to the point that when she answers the phone and the Mrs. Danvers says Mrs. De Winter, and she's like, "No, I'm sorry, Mrs. De Winter's been dead for a year." You know, and I'm like, oh my God, like there's some parts of this book that I'm reading that I'm like, I just want to start like screaming. You know, the daydreaming is a big thing. The daydreaming, the constant daydreaming. She's always daydreaming about how she wants things to be and how she sees herself, but she doesn't have the confidence or the courage to just act that way. But I think any woman that would move into the dwelling of a previous wife, I don't think that would happen too much today, but would have that kind of haunted feeling of things. Like she really goes down a rabbit hole, even like on chairs that she is sitting on. She's like, just like, oh, she's just constantly reminded that someone else was here before me. Someone else sat in this chair. Someone else drank from this cup. I mean, she's just driving herself insane. But she's not acting insane. Like she's acting like she doesn't have a lot of confidence. And, you know, but I don't know. I don't think I have heard her say yet where, does he miss her? Like, does he look at me and think of her sitting in this chair? Like, none of that is going on. So it's just her. She just doesn't feel that she's worthy of this life. So I am interested, as you are, to figure out where this is all going. And there was something in the documentary that I watched on the Du Mauriers, and it was that her husband was in the military and they traveled to Egypt, and she couldn't stand. She wanted to get back to England. She couldn't stand the oppressive heat, but that is where she wrote Rebecca at, and she was able to afford. She never bought. That was the other thing. She never bought Menabilly. She rented it from the Raleigh family, but they never sold it to her. And she was there for so many years. And Menabilly was also like the backdrop for Manderley. And they took it back. She had been there for like 20, maybe 30 years. And they took it back saying, you know, this is where we want to retire. So she didn't live out her days there. It was heartbreaking for her because she had loved the place from when she was 19 years old. She would travel to Menabilly. It was abandoned. It had needed so much work, which she did. And people said, you're crazy. Like the money that she made from Rebecca was the money that she used to rent Menabilly, and she did all the renovations. So people were like, you're crazy. Like, you don't own this place that you're doing all these renovations. And eventually down the line, 20, 30 years later, they took it back, and they retired there. So she, when she got back home, she was going through her husband's desk drawer, and she found these letters from the woman that he was previously engaged to, and her name was Jan Ricardo. And the Ricardo, Jan would sign her name with that sloping big R, and so that's in the movie. It's like another character, that this signature, it's like another character. And she asked her husband about it, and she had the same, she is like the unnamed narrator. She had the same feelings and emotions, that he loved her more than me. They were engaged to get married, and Jan was the one that broke it off, and then she later ended her own life. Terrible. I mean, oh God, tragic. And this was the backdrop for the story. This was more content, as we would say now, content for the story of Rebecca. So it's based a lot on her own experiences, and yet I can't remember the there was a French book that had almost the same story, and there was a I can't remember if it was Jane Austen. I can't remember. I should have really did my research, because I watched this a while ago, and there were a few books that came forward and said, this is my story. This is not your story. But I find that hard to believe, because she based this story on her experience. I mean, the story is not that unique, still going on today. But she found the letters, and she asked her husband about them, and he just would not talk about Jan at all. Which, does he have to? No. Did I just put these in the wrong spot? Am I losing my yeah, I did. I put these all in the wrong spot, because I'm busy yapping. I'm telling you guys, I just can't do two things at once. But I catch myself. I always do. I don't know how, but I do. What else is going on? What else did I do? I did my, oh, that's where I got confused. I thought that was that. I did my Share the Care. I did my update for that this morning. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then one of my other members, Tracy, came on, and we got to talking. Oh, that's on the other side. We got to talking, so she's up, I'm up, and we're talking. This is when I get to meet my members, really, and talk with them that are on different time frames. Like, she's in Canada, so she's like, it's 5 a.m., I'm up. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. here, I'm up. And we got to talking, and then when we were done, I was like, oh, you know what, I'm up. Let me go do my update for week 2 of Share the Care. And then I was talking to Chris at the time, and Brush, we're all up. It's a big party. We're all up. And I saw his trays and pen and diamond painting ruler for jingle drills. I'm like, when's jingle drills? He's like, now. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. So it kicked off today. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing this canvas. I don't need a new start. Why the heck not? So I just, I'm trying to enjoy, for me, diamond painting for me. Not that I don't, but I think I don't get as frustrated when I know it's for me. Like, if I make a mistake, like, see, I almost dropped the drills on the floor. If I was making this content for you guys, I would have been like screaming my head off. Not screaming, but I would have been like, oh my God, I gotta get done. I just sat down. I gotta spill on the floor. Ah! And like the world, my hair goes on fire. Isn't he cute? He's so adorable. He's reminding me of something. He's reminding me of like some kind of other animal other than a goat. What else is going on? Self-Care Sunday. I don't know what that's going to bring me tomorrow. I think this one I have out already, this color. I have I don't have that color out. I have some colors out that are just so repetitive. I put them in here because the carousel was hanging around, and I'm like, I'm going to fix the carousel. I have parts of it here just in case Angie looks. This is why I couldn't put the carousel together. some of the pieces are screwed in there permanently, and I was able to get some of them out. Where's the other pieces? So I'm like, I'm going to glue this back together. Like, see, this would have to go on the other piece, you know. Anyway, we're getting real handy here in the Pescador household. We've been doing a lot of stuff around the house, and we're just feeding off of each other's energy. So we just made a menu. I'm like, John, do you remember when we were kids, like, could pretty much predict what your mother was making for dinner? Like, Monday was meatloaf, you know, Tuesday was maybe fish sticks, you know, whatever. We didn't have, like, you know, fancy menus today. You went to the supermarket, you got romaine or you got iceberg lettuce. You didn't get spring mix, you know. You got a tomato. Maybe in your backyard. You didn't have red, yellow, green, and orange tomatoes like you do now. So he's like, I said, you know, John, it's just getting so ridiculous with the going out to eat. I mean, when lunch is costing like $70 and there's no alcohol on there, that even if you do have a mocktail, it's like $100 for lunch. I can do a week's worth of grocery shopping with that money. So we're getting back to basics, and we're getting back, which I knew was going to happen. I've been in the restaurant business for years, and I'm like, it's just becoming overly saturated. It's got to collapse. It just has to. You know, there's really no customer service, and I think that that's because now people have been shamed into this tip environment. Is that what you could call it? Like, it's like, you know, I ordered a necklace, okay? And as I was checking out, it said, would you like to give the owner a tip? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm supporting a small shop. I'm buying handmade, and now you want a tip because this is what you decided to do? I just was like, I don't understand. What the heck is going on? We're being tipped to death. Like, I'm buying it, and then I'll tell other people, and I'll shout it out, you know? Like, do you want to give me a tip too? So I just think that that's why everybody's just priced themselves out of the market. It's just crazy. And so John wrote down the things that he likes to make that are like his, not only his staples, but that he makes really well. In fact, he made a shrimp franchise that was off the hook, just off the hook. Delicious. Anytime he does anything in franchise, it's delicious. His Alfredo is delicious. His clams, spaghetti and clams, delicious. He does from scratch Caesar salad. He's got the big bowl. I'm like, what the heck are we doing? You know, it's one thing to go out and, you know, you go out with friends and like that's your night out. You know, preferably a BYOB, and that's your night out. But you know, it's not that we can't afford to go out to eat. It's just that we just feel like, I don't like to go out somewhere and have like huge portions. I don't like that either. When you go out and it's just like, there's just like so much food on the dish. It's like, oh my God, now I got to take this home. I got to carry it around with me. I want like a modest portion, good prices, and, you know, good food. And it just doesn't seem that you can get that today anymore. Everything is just collapsing. And, so we did that this morning. We made our little menu of who's going to do what. And then, you know, we're putting a menu together where this is what I like to make. This is what you like to make. And like every week we'll look at it and we'll like shuffle the menu items around. I don't want to do like our parents did, Monday meatloaf, you know, Tuesday eggplant, or, you know, stuff like that. I don't think I've ever made meatloaf in my life. Though, my favorite chef, who he has since passed on, oh God, unbelievable. The first time I had his food, I was like, I'm never eating again. I'm never eating again. What have I been doing my whole life? I mean, this is food. You know, when you just, you are privileged enough to have really good food, and you're just like, oh my God, like he was born to be a chef. He just loved what he did. And, you know, that's another story for another day, but I don't mind going out for that type of a meal, but anymore, you know, I don't know, especially if you've been in the hospitality business like I have, and I would spend a lot of time with my staff. I always listened to them. I always tried to give them the tools that they needed to do their job well, because it's a reflection on me. You know, I can't have you standing on a table and a customer asking about how something is prepared and you don't know, you know? So it's just so different now. And I just think it got just so out of control. So that's something else that we did today. We're creating menus. He's out right now. He's at the butcher shop right now, and he's getting stuff for the week. I don't know if we're doing chicken cutlet Saturday today. We usually do chicken cutlet Saturday, and I didn't say anything. And I don't know. I don't know that that's what we're doing today. That's usually the one staple that we have. Chicken cutlets. And neither one of us put it on the menu like, I'll make chicken cutlets, one day. But you do like to go out and like to socialize and stuff. And so we agreed that we would do that when we were going out to dinner with friends. So that's what we're gonna do. And we have so many restaurants around us. We can walk to 3, and they're really good, but it's just I think a lot of people are pricing themselves out of the market. So that's a shame. I'm just wondering where it's all, like, what's going to happen. How's this all going to work out, because you have a generation of kids that can't cook. They can't cook. They don't know how to. My son is like, I know women that don't know how to boil water. No, I'm sorry. He's funnier than that, my son. He's like, I know women that don't know how to make ice. So, it's a problem. And my son, with every woman that he has been involved with, or he entertains, or invites over for dinner, he's the chef. He does the cooking. He does the cooking. So, and then you also have, like, it's not only that they can't cook, or they don't want to cook, or they don't want to learn. They want to go out. They want to go out. They want to be taken out. And I understand that. You're young. You want to get dressed up. You want to go out. I understand that. But, I don't remember us going out like that. Like, we went out on the weekends, We went out on the weekends. We went clubbing on the weekends, and we met up with all our friends, and we went out dancing. That's what we did. We weren't, looking to go out and eat. We were at the gym, that was a big thing. Being at the gym, going shopping. A lot of us went thrift shopping for stuff and vintage stuff, and we were making our own stuff. We weren't like buying, designer, like, so much has changed. We weren't buying designer labels, designer handbags were for your mother or your grandmother. They walked around with the designer goods, because we had no idea what anything, cost. We were busy hunting through the thrift stores, trying to make our next ensemble for our night out. So we were resourceful, that's for sure. We were resourceful. And so, I can't imagine, like, going to work and then like, what do you do for, like, just morning coffee, going to work. Like, we had coffee at the office, Bunsen burner. We didn't have Starbucks. We got our coffee when we got to work. So that's another thing. So you're already in for $10 just for a regular coffee in the morning, going to Starbucks. And I was looking for hot chocolate the other day in the supermarket. Swiss Miss in the little bag that you just rip it open, you boil water, you put it in. Couldn't find hot chocolate. It's in a Keurig. I'm like, what do you do if you don't have a Keurig machine? Like, nobody boils water anymore? And, even the people that work there. I mean, this is a big supermarket. I'm like, where's hot chocolate? They're looking at me like I'm crazy. They're looking at me like, what? I'm like, it comes in a little bag, individual. They don't know what I'm talking about. They're buying cereal in little boxes because they don't want to dirty a bowl. And I'm looking for individual hot chocolate. So, no shade to you guys. You got it made. Let me tell you, you got it made. But, when did my stuff disappear? And I don't know how I feel about these Cheetos. I know it's better for me, but there's something about having orange fingers. They better taste the same. That's all I know. So, I'm thinking of the commercials where that Cheetos did, where you were able to find somebody just by the trail of orange that they left behind. It's kind of like luminol. Shut the light off, and that orange dye would light up a kitchen. So, things are just so different. They taste different. Here in Philly, we got tax on soda. Like, we don't even buy soda. I was never really a soda drinker, so I don't care. Not even diet soda. But everything's so expensive. I'm just thinking, like, when we were a kid, like, we went out to the pizza parlor on a Saturday. We went to the movies, and then we would walk the avenue, and we would go get pizza. But, we had chores to do first in the house, and, like, help mom out. And then I used to walk over to my grandmom's house. I used to go and help her out. And then I got together with my girlfriends. We went to the movies, and then we walked the avenue, and then we went to go get pizza, and that's when we got a pitcher of Coke. That's it. It's the only time we had soda. I don't know how I got on this jam today. He's so cute. He's so cute. So I checked my points to see what I have, because, I forget that I even have points for, diamond paintings. And so, of course, I have more with Dreamer Design than I do with Diamond Art Club. And I've seen the Diamond Art Club new boxes. I think they're really sweet. They just have one box, and then they just make a sleeve now. So that's kind of cool. But I have like 11,000 points for Dreamer Design. And I think if I don't use them, I lose them. I'm not trying to buy anything. I'm really not. And I don't know. I don't think that I'm going to be using my points for diamond paintings. It's not happening. I'll use it for something else. I don't know if Dreamer Designs has anything. I'm never on the website. Never, ever. If something comes across my page that it's Kurtis Rykovich, I'll get it. Or I might not get it. I've gotten it. No, So I don't know if Dreamer Designs does anything else. I don't know if they do anything other than diamond paintings, like Diamond Art Club. They make, little placers and stuff. I don't know. I know what I'm going to do, because I think 10,000 points is $100. I could get a diamond painting. And did everybody get the email that the prices are going up in 2026? Yeah. So I think that might be another big feature to Black Friday. I will be there. I will be, cheering you on. And happy for all the stuff that you get. I hope that you all get all the diamond paintings that your heart desires, and that is on your Christmas list and people are buying for you. I'll be there cheering you on, but it's going to be hard for me because I'm just thinking about what I have in my room. I've surpassed life expectancy now. So I do think, my diamond paintings are still out all over the floor that you've seen when I took them out. And so I do think that I am going to have to let some of them go. I do think that the ones that I still have sealed that I bought, I think I'm going to put them like on a D-stash. I just want to see them beloved and done. And who knows that they will. But, I can only think about myself and what I can do. And it doesn't mean, oh, let me go get other ones now because I got these out of the way. No. Mm-mm. No. There are some that I just don't have. Very few, like maybe 2. So what's it going to take my count down to? 38. So it's not like I'm going to be not giving away, but selling ones that I'm like, oh, I'm really heartbroken about this. There's a few that I was like, what the heck was I thinking? What was going on? I gotta dig a little bit deeper into that art journal. Like when I buy things, like what motivated me to buy this? What was I thinking? Do I still feel the same way? And I don't think any of them, I don't know if Christmas Blessing is still, I think that canvas is gorgeous. I didn't even open it. I never unboxed it. I didn't show it to you guys. It's sealed. But I'm thinking if it's not still available and somebody would be like, oh, I missed that. I would love to have that. I would do it. Then I will let it go. I didn't even go over to Anthony when he had his auction because I was scared to death. I was scared to death that I was going to, I love Anthony's taste. And so I knew I'm going to get in trouble over there. And I didn't go. I want to support, but it's not even about the money. It is and it isn't. If you're going to spend upwards, let's just round it up to $100, and then not use it, it's wasteful. It's not only the diamond painting that doesn't get completed, but it's the money too. So, and it's so easy too when you have plastic, isn't it? That's the other thing we didn't have when I was growing up. We didn't have plastic. We had cash, and if it wasn't in your pocket, because what do we know about putting money in a bank? I had my little vacation savings plan. That was it. I went, when I cashed my check, we went to the bank, we cashed checks. We didn't snap pictures of them and have them go right in like magic. Poof. We had to go to the bank. We had to wait in line, sometimes on our lunch hour, because we wanted that money. We worked all week. And cash our checks. And then I had my little vacation saving plan that I would put like, oh, I don't even know, like $10 in there a week. Yeah. You could have went to the shore. But we were saving all week long, I was probably more than that because 52 weeks is only $520, and I saved more than that. It was probably more than that. It was probably was $20. And we were me and my friends were planning to go to, we planned it on the new year that we were going to go to Hawaii. And so we were putting some nice little money away to do that. And then by the time it got to the point that we were going to go on vacation together, who's fighting with who? Who's not talking to who? Oh. So I never did get to Hawaii with my friends. They ended up at the shore. I'm like, I did not save all this money to go to the Jersey Shore. No, thank you. I can go to Paris for the weekend. Not going to the Jersey Shore. And I put my money away and I went to Florida by myself. I was just, a young girl, and I was working for a real estate developer. I loved my job. I loved being like right on the job site with the architects and the engineers. And it was hard for me to even go away. And my boss said, listen, you take the red eye, you wake up, you're there. And then you spend the day on the beach. And then, the next day you do a little shopping and you come home. He's like, come home late Monday. But I was there Monday morning. I was clocking in. I loved my job. So, but it was so much fun to just go away by myself and feel so grown up. Get up, go on the beach the next day, take myself to dinner, do a little shopping, and I took a late flight home on Sunday. The boy's coming in the door. He's back with the meat. Watch, he'll come in. I want to see what he says. You ready? You gonna make the eggs? What are you doing? Oh, I got all that color in. Let's see. He wants to read another chapter of A Christmas Carol. Oh, you're on the phone.
Why?
You're on the phone.
No, I'm not. I'm making an appointment with the Apple store.
Oh, okay. When you going?
Huh?
When you going?
Whatever they have available. I don't know. I mean, obviously not in the next hour. We're going to eat and all, but whatever they have available.
Okie dokie. That was an easy one. All right, here we go. I got some diamond painted time in while I was waiting for my hubby. My little monkey over here is coming. He's coming through. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to start on the top part. Is she in there? Yeah. With her big hair, her 80s hair. I'm going to start doing the top, like Lizette does. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this. I can't believe how much progress I made. So, let me put this here. Let me move this up. There she is. I love the hand. I got it with the hand. Let me see. Yeah, look. So I'm going to do the top, and then I'll do the middle last. Anyway, I hope you're having a good Saturday. I will see you tomorrow for Self-Care Sunday. I did shoot some of these drills around the room. And have a good one. Enjoy your day.